Hello guys, this is Brian for the win, coming back at it again with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about the crypto manipulation and what I call, world corruption. If it has ever been ever more so obvious that like big corporations and wealthy people control, like basically manipulate like society, this is like one of the things that it will show you. Like just follow the money and you'll learn a lot of dark truths. Follow the money and you'll see a lot of what actually goes on in the world. So anyways, I'm gonna show you these videos and just I'm gonna react to them. You guys can tell me what you think of them. So I'll go ahead and watch them.
Right? This guy's walking into McDonald's and paying with Bitcoin Lightning Network with a QR code. This is the future, right? This is the thing that they told us couldn't happen. They said you could never pay for your coffee with Bitcoin. They say that you could never pay for your breakfast, your desayuno tradicional with Bitcoin. They said it, but that's not true. We're seeing it happen. So people who want you to believe that something's not possible with these technologies, that's like saying, no, you can't watch movies on the internet in 1992. Guess what? We only watch movies on the internet now. That's all we do. Too greedy, as we saw over the last few days, this is what happens. However, does this mean that this is a permanent dent on this movement? No, absolutely not. And quite frankly, let's go through this, because the reality is that look, we have 18% on we don't want the little guys to win. And so the point of this broadcast is to ingrain in your brain that this is part of the game and that you are fighting to keep your coins from the big money bags. No, the whales and the banks don't want you to get rich. Newsflash. No, the biggest whales in this industry don't want the little guys to win. Newsflash. No, the trillionaires and the billionaires are not on your team. They haven't been ever in history. Newsflash. And so when they can manipulate the price, when leverage in this industry gets overblown and everyone's being too risky, too greedy, as we saw over the last few days, this is what happens. However, does this mean that this is a permanent dent on this movement? No, absolutely not. And quite frankly,
So yeah, guys, if you're in the crypto market, I wouldn't worry about it. I would not give up. It's nothing big. It's just, big billionaires and trillionaires trying to ruin your day because they want control over basically El Salvador, and just manipulation in general. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. Phantom is still 155. Okay, now we know what's going on. It's people coming after Bitcoin. They wanted to show a $10,000 wick on the Bitcoin candle. Who would do that? It's so obvious who's doing it. We see you, IMF, we see you. Why didn't you crash the market yesterday? Why today? Oh, because El Salvador is you can fight it. You can, but now we are seeing whether we win or whether the IMF wins. And when a president sits up and says, you know what, thank you IMF, we're buying a dip, we're going to celebrate Bitcoin Day, we got this. We got this. Amazing. And you can see there is no panic in the market. Bitcoin dominance, nothing. Show me the Bitcoin dominance.
So yeah, they bought the dip, which, thank goodness. They're like, hey, you made it cheaper for us, we're just going to buy more at a discount, We're not going to give up on, just because like they want, because their currency is like in their country, and so they basically like they have debt to them now, and so they kind of like have power over them, like a little bit. It's terrible, honestly.
Monumental day where Bitcoin becomes legal tender of an entire country. First time in Bitcoin's history, first time in the history of the world where a digital currency is actually made to be money, to be actual real money of a country. This is a monumental day, and of course the powers that be did not want this to happen. Well, who are the powers that be? Well, just think about the entities that didn't like El Salvador, adopting Bitcoin in the first place. You have to theorize, well, maybe it's the IMF. Maybe the IMF did not like it because you know why? IMF currently provides a lot of support to El Salvador. El Salvador owes IMF a lot of money. They don't want to lose that control. Maybe it's the IMF, or maybe it's the World Bank. El Salvador even went to the World Bank and said, hey, how about you help us implement Bitcoin as legal tender. They're like, no. Why are we going to do that? So, the powers that be, the IMF, World Bank, they're very large indeed, controlled by several large countries, and you could argue families. Like, there's a lot of connections with, it goes back all the way to Rothschilds and all this stuff, right? Maybe the powers that be did not want this day to be good. They wanted to spoil it, right? Wanted to cause some FUD, which is of course happening, which is why people are crazy today. But like I said, put it in perspective, we only gone back a week, all right? So stop panicking, first of all, if you are in panic mode. And second of all, the market is coming back up. So look at the overall market cap, 2.1 trillion. Just yesterday we were at 2.4, so we did have about 3 trillion, 3 trillion knocked off, right? And you know what?
Imagine that. Like, imagine how much money that is. Like, if you worked for like, if you gain like 10,000 or even 100,000 a year, you probably wouldn't even have 1 billion in like 25 years if you do the calculations. And so, like, for 3 trillion to be knocked off the market, it's just that's too much. And so I would say it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that on the day that they put they pass like them to be legal tender in El Salvador, it's the day that it drops. So like that one guy from TikTok says, nothing's a coincidence. Nothing's really a coincidence. And in this circumstance, it's definitely not a coincidence, guys. And so why am I doing this broadcast, right? Why am I doing this broadcast or this recording? I'm doing it because, well, I mean, I'm not, you can argue that I'm trying to promote crypto or whatever, which is fine. I'm invested in it. I'm not going to tell you what to do, whether you should invest in something that might actually, like make you money or not, or that might change your life or wealthy or whatever. But I'm doing it so that you guys could see that corruption is like ever so more real than like if I ever doubted, like I honestly I can see I do not doubt that corruption is like super real and it's here. And so that's mostly why I did this video, to be honest, so you guys could see that it's just this world, like, seriously, there's so much corrupt entities and stuff. It's so disgusting, guys. It's so disgusting. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. And yeah, guys, so have a good night, good day, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, this is Brian for the win. See ya.